I see. So your first memory after coming to this world was being awoken by your sister from within that meteorite.
It seems your sister woke up first. But the question is, how long before you?
And then your sister told you that the destruction of Kanria plunged the whole world into chaos, and that you two should leave this world called Tevat?
The destruction of Conria? She said...
That destruction you witnessed, that's history from 500 years ago. It seems the first time you awoke in this world was indeed during that period.
Huh. So your sister must have understood this world better than you did, because she woke up first.
And it was shortly after that that you encountered an unknown god who blocked your path, so you couldn't escape.
Oh, Paimon knows this part really well.
I understand. When you awoke at that time and hurriedly tried to leave for another world, you didn't know anything about Kanria. But now, since you have come to gain some understanding of Tevat, you are able to guess that the war you witnessed all those years ago must be the war that ended Kanria. Am I right?
Ah, if that's the case, you must have been flipping through all sorts of books during our adventure these past few months. Before going to Mondstadt, you had just looked at some vague materials. Later, we managed to gather a whole bunch of old books from all around Mondstadt and Liyue, but you told Paimon they were useless. So, the whole time you were just trying to learn more about Conria so you could find your sister? Oh, yeah! You can travel around the 7 nations to find the 7. But where can you go to find a nation that was destroyed 500 years ago?
I probably know more about Kanria than both of you. Kanria was a nation without a god. Not because it had a god that died or abandoned them, but because it never had a god to begin with. It was a powerful nation, built purely by humans. An unprecedented, flourishing, and glorious civilization. It was the pride of humankind.
A nation without a god?
Later events unfolded just as you remember. It was all destroyed by gods.
You mean that...
500 years ago, the gods descended upon the world and brought desolation to Kanria. The pride of humankind was uprooted and crushed, like a weed removed from the garden of the gods.
How could that be? The history books don't say anything about that.
Yes, well, continuing to discuss the past now will only dampen our spirits. Let's keep moving. I will tell you more of what you want to know as we continue our search.
Over there! It's more ruin guards and abyss mages. Dane was just saying how these ancient machines are from Conria. So, did Conria have a lot of ruins that needed to be guarded?
No. Ruin Guard is the name modern people have given these machines. No one called them that 500 years ago. These ruin guards were known as field tillers by the people of Kanria.
Field tillers? What a strange name.
It's not like you think. Field tiller was just a code name. The people of Kanria like to give code names to their weapons. The land is not to be tilled with farming tools, but rather is to be fought for with steel and blood. This is how the field tiller came about.
Fought for with steel and blood? Well, that's an interesting way of understanding tilling. Paimon doesn't think it's a very positive interpretation.
After the destruction of Kanria, these masterless field tillers went completely out of control. They wandered aimlessly over the centuries, gradually spreading to every corner of Tevat. Perhaps resonating with the sorrow of other civilizations lost to time, they found their way to various ruins across the land, where they lie dormant.
Well, that sounds
Once you understand more, those details won't mean much to you. But no matter their past, all that remains of them now is the danger they pose. So destroy them all.
Huh? This abyss maze dropped a talisman. Could it be a communication of some kind?
This talisman seems connected to the Abyss Herald. But why would an Abyss Mage be carrying it? Perhaps it really does contain information about their operation.
But Paimon can't read the writing on it. Is that the script of Conria?
Engulf the faith of an enemy in flame, and bring glory to Her Highness the Princess.
What? Is that what it says?
Loom of Fate initial operation. They, the Abyss, seem to be carrying out a large operation. The keyword here is Loom of Fate. It seems like they are still launching the operation, or rather, are still conducting preliminary tests.
Loom of Fate? What's that? Is it literally a... From the horrible feeling Paimon's been getting, those eerie ruins are super likely to be related to this fate-weaving operation. So, Dane, what message does this talisman contain?
I'm reading it now. An ambitious operation. But some parts are difficult to understand.
How so?
In short, the first phase of the plan is related to Osile, Overlord of the Vortex.
The Overlord of the Vortex? You mean that god in the ocean? What do they want with Osile?
I know of your past heroics regarding Dvalin, and I also know of the Abyss Order's role in the Storm Terror incident. Though you may not have been aware of it at the time, you were thwarting an Abyss Order operation similar to this one.
Last time it was Venti's old friend. This time it's a huge ancient god. The Abyss Order keeps setting their sights higher and higher. Will the Abyss Order use their lies and dark magic to corrupt Osile, just as they did Dvalin?
No. From the contents of the talisman, this operation goes one step further. They won't just corrupt Osile's mind. They also plan to use the ancient technology behind the field tillers to completely transform Osile's body.
Is that even possible? So wait, the Abyss Order wants to make some sort of cybernetic squig...
Very few people today truly understand the civilization of Conria. Though of course, the accuracy of that understanding itself is difficult to judge. Only the Abyss Order has consistently sought out the remnants of Conria. Despite being far from human, they seek out this lost human civilization quite persistently. The talisman's message states that they will use the defiled statue as a base, attaching Osile's limbs to construct a mechanized god. And the new core that shall replace the orb usually held by the Statue of the Seven is the eye of the very first field tiller.
The eye of the very first field tiller? Oh, Paimon gets it! All those Abyss mages are looking for the special eye, right?
It would seem so.
This whole thing keeps getting more complicated. But basically, it all has to do with that eerie Statue of the Seven we saw, right?
Yes. According to the talisman, the eye should be placed in the hands of the defiled statue, thereby imbuing the newly born god with the power to topple the divine throne.
Oh boy, the Abyss Order sure isn't holding back with this plan. Since no one knows where the first field tiller is, how about we take the information about the statue as... Yeah, that tone-deaf bard is too difficult to track down anyway. Let's go to the cathedral first and ask around. Maybe we'll learn something.
The cathedral.
Huh? What's the matter, Dane?
Nothing. Let's get moving.